Welcome to the shooting show. This week, Irishman Jason Doyle is making the most of a difficult decoying session with all manner of wing pests on the menu.
Well, I've come out to try my luck for a couple of hours on fresh drilled wheat, winter wheat that was drilled yesterday, and I was here this morning zeroing my rifle and saw quite a few pigeons and crows on it. So I gave the farmer a buzz and he said, yeah, if we could keep them off it, it'd be great. But it's after lunch now and we've come back and there was more seagulls on it than anything else and a lot of crows, but only about 40 or 50 pigeons. But look, we said we'd set up and we'd give it a go for a couple of hours. If nothing else, we'll keep the seagulls and crows off it. There's not a breath of wind, which is a pity. Wind is good for keeping the pigeons moving. But we've set up. I haven't been able to set up exactly where I wanted. There was a big drainage ditch around most of this field. So I've had to set up at the top end here, which isn't where the main congregation of birds was. But we'll give it a couple of hours. Have my lab with me as well. Give him a run, hopefully get a couple of retrieves. But yeah, it's a nice way to kill an afternoon, so if we can even get 10 or a dozen pigeons, I'll be happy.
Enough talk, it's time for action. Jason's so eager to get shooting, he ropes a cameraman in to help with building the hide and setting the deeks. Conditions may not be ideal, but we're still hoping for a haul of pigeons. Job done. We can stoke up the gun with Ely's finest and await our winged quarry. All's quiet for a minute as we watch the birds keep out of shotgun range. Finally, Jason picks out a suitable target. A good start, though it's crows, not pigeons, making up most of the bag so far. Still, it's all much needed pest control, so let's crack on. Momentarily, all's quiet behind the hide. Then the familiar sound of crows signals that we're back in business. This one needs to be picked swiftly, so we cast off the lab to do his job. We take the opportunity to tweak the pattern a bit while we're at it, and it seems to do the trick immediately. The birds are coming in more regularly now. It won't be a record bag, but certainly enough to make the trip worth it.
Get on.
We're building up the numbers now, thanks to some good shooting from Jason. Well, mostly.
It hasn't been a bad first hour and a half here. Most of what I shot is crows. Probably have 20 to 25 down. They're very wary with no wind. They're not really flying. They're not really moving that fast or moving that much. So they're just sort of hanging as they come in, and they're having a good look. But had some real nice long range shots with the 725 and the Elys. Unfortunately, my cameraman had to go home for an hour, so he left me on my own to try and film and shoot, which hasn't been easy. Just about to try and do it again. But yeah, it hasn't been easy to shoot and film. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Of course, as soon as he comes back, there'll be no crows or pigeons come in. But going to give it another hour and pack up then. I'd like to get a few more pigeons, get some work for the dog, do some picking up. But no, it's been good fun so far.
The last hour turns out to be fairly quiet, but Jason makes the most of the opportunities that we do get. We make a note of where this one drops for the final pickup.
Well, unfortunately, I think that's it. We had a busy half hour in the middle. Been here 2.5 hours. Shot about 25, 30 rooks, 2 hooded crows and 2 magpies. Maybe 4 or 5 pigeons. So not a bad couple of hours, but it's just gone completely dead now. As I said earlier, there's absolutely no wind, and it's evening time now. Birds are going to start going to roost, and there's no wind to keep them moving. So have a bit of a pick up now and head for home. My kit I was using today was again the Browning B725 Sporter 32 inch. Really nice gun, shooting well with it. And Eley VIP fibre wad 32 gram 5s. They're a little bit expensive for decoying, but it's nice to use fibre wad cartridges. I'm not leaving plastic all over this ground. So yeah, pack up, time for home.
We came for pigeons today and we got crows. Still, it all makes the farmer happy, and you can be sure we'll be back for the woodies next week. Doyle doing the business with the Deeks there, and now it's the Shooting Show News.
This is the Shooting Show News. Shooting's getting a tax break. The Chancellor used his autumn statement to unveil rural rate relief for small businesses, including those involved in shooting. The tax break could be worth up to £2,900 a year. Shoots, playgrounds and gun shops could all benefit. 2 game fairs are joining forces next year. The Basque Gamekeepers Fair and the Kelmarsh Game and Country Fair will combine to create one event, taking place at Kelmarsh on the Easter weekend. There you'll find the Basque Village, including all the departments and demonstrations previously found at the Gamekeepers Fair. Find out more details on the Basque website. The Countryside Alliance and the BBC are at war over an episode of its Inside Out programme that painted a negative picture of game farming. The programme used undercover footage to allege welfare abuses, seemingly without justification. Then they asked the Countryside Alliance's Liam Stokes to comment on it on air, without letting him see it first. The Alliance has made a formal complaint and labelled the segment sensationalist and horrendously biased. Scottish police have reported a 20% drop in wildlife crime over the last 5 years. The latest wildlife crime report shows that fish poaching is still the most commonly committed wildlife crime. Raptor persecution is down by 8%, though deer poaching offences rose slightly. The Highlands and Islands saw the most reported crimes of any region. And finally, the Golden Plover Award is open for nominations once again. Run by the Heather Trust and the GWCT, the award highlights the best, most progressive moorland management techniques in the country. In 2016, the Hopes estate became the 4th recipient of the award. If your estate fits the bill, head to the Golden Plover Award website to find out more. That was the Shooting Show News.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of BASC, it's time to join now. BASC, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.